Hi, I'm immigration lawyer John Kasravi, and today I want to talk about the fiance visa, in particular, the important lawsuit that was decided, the preliminary injunction that was decided in the case of Milligan v. Pompeo. I'm going to go into detail on this case, what it means, and how it affects those people who had a fiance visa case approved, not the visa itself, but the petition from I-129F, and their case had been stuck and has been stuck at the National Visa Center or at the actual embassy, or they've had a visa issue that was expired or decisions not being made after the interview. There's important decisions that were made in this preliminary injunction. I want to get that information out to you right now. Hi, thank you so much for following. My name is John Kasravi. I'm an immigration attorney, a U.S. immigration attorney, helping people from across the globe come to the United States. You can find more information about me at jqqlaw.com. But today, this video is for those who have approved I-129F petitions or who have gone to the interview already and their case is stalled. Now, the fiance visa is when a U.S. citizen has a foreign fiance that they've seen in person for the last 2 years, once in the last 2 years, unless there's an exception to the meeting requirement. And they start the process with USCIS, the U.S. Immigration Office, for them to believe that this relationship is real. Once it's approved, USCIS sends the case first to the National Visa Center, who then hands it off to the U.S. Embassy, who will schedule an appointment for in-person interview, will do an interview, and if approved, will issue a visa so the foreign fiancé can fly to the United States. And once at the United States port of entry, the airport usually, they ask to enter from the port inspector, Port and Customs Enforcement, or CBP, Customs and Border Protection, to be able to enter the United States. Now, I'm breaking these minute details of these for a reason, because the court made some interesting decisions that are being missed a lot in my first reading. I missed it as well. I read in more detail. It's a very interesting, nuanced thing. It's not a full win for the fiance visa holders, but we're going to get to that right now. So what happened was 153 couples in this situation filed a lawsuit. 3 of our colleagues, great firm, Siska and Sussler firm, Jeff Jones and his firm in Colorado, Jeff Joseph, and Chuck and Baxter out in Georgia, got together, and one of my own clients even became a plaintiff in this and sued the government, saying these cases are not moving forward. Either they're stuck at the NBC, they're stuck at the embassy, they did an interview with no decision, or the visa had expired, they couldn't come, and they're stuck. Now, in particular, there's 2 sets of these people. There's one set that are people, foreign nationals from countries that were affected by the COVID travel ban by President Trump. So these are people from China, Brazil, Iran, and Europe, the EU region, and Britain and Ireland. And those countries, if you visited those countries in the last 2 weeks, you're not allowed to come into the United States. There is a travel ban for this. So my client, for example, is in China, his fiance is, and because he's from China, the travel ban affects her, so they're not scheduling an interview. So that's one part of this lawsuit. The second part was people who are not from these countries, had an interview or not getting interviews, and there's unreasonable delay. So they say, hey, you got to keep things moving. Now, practically speaking, I have had clients get their fiance visa in some countries, and other ones are stalled. It's not consistent. The State Department, who runs the embassy system, is overwhelmed. They're understaffed. And a lot of the staff can't even go to work because there's restrictions in those countries due to COVID on the movement of people. So it's very hard for them to do their job, but they are many times issuing visas. And I even have, for example, in China, marriage green card cases that are moving forward, spouses of U.S. citizens in particular, that have their case happen. So again, let me recap. The case is about people who are stuck because of the COVID-19 ban, and other people who the case is moving forward, but the visa is not being issued. So an injunction, a preliminary injunction in this court case happened, which is asking the government, the courts, federal courts, to make a quick decision right now because people are being severely harmed. He's saying we don't have the time to go through a full case. We should just get it started right now. So there's 2 interesting decisions that came from this. The first one, the judge analyzed the situation about the visa itself, about the travel bans itself, if they're appropriate or not. And the finding was interesting. They said, the president, under the statute that gives him authority for the travel ban, under the interpretation of the judge here, says that they can prevent entry of people, meaning entering the United States. So the president, they're saying, can prevent entry from someone who's been to China, Iran, the EU region, Brazil, UK, or Ireland in the last 2 weeks from entering the United States. But the statute doesn't say prevent them from issuing visas. So he issued, or the judge here, a district court judge, issued a preliminary injunction. This is Judge James Boasberg, issued a preliminary injunction saying that travel ban does not prevent these countries, these embassies, from issuing visas to these fiancés. However, it does still allow the government to prevent their entry into the United States. So let's say you have a fiancé visa and approved of the petition, and you go to the embassy is supposed to issue the visa if it's appropriate, but you can't use that visa having been in China the last 2 weeks to enter the United States. That ban will still exist. So that's kind of weird. Well, what do you do in that situation? They give a visa and then you're stuck? Well, the argument here the judge says is that, well, the embassy shouldn't be stopped from issuing the visa. At the border, they should prevent people from coming in, or maybe the airline would prevent it. However, this is a 2-week delay in the travel ban nature of it. So if someone does get the K-1 visa, they shouldn't just be prevented from getting it because they're from those countries or visited those countries. They will be prevented from entering the United States if they have visited those countries in 2 weeks. So the solution is, in China, for example, to issue the fiancé visa. Once a person gets a fiancé visa, they leave China and go to a neutral country, a country not affected by any travel bans, wait the 2 weeks, then get on a plane to come to the United States. Because right now, the embassy is not issuing visas to people from those countries or in those countries is unfair because it doesn't give them the opportunity to get the visa, wait it out for 2 weeks in another country, then come to the United States. So that was an excellent decision there made by this judge. A very interesting way to do it. So if you are one of these people who were hit by the travel ban because of the country you're in, the judge is saying you should be able to get the visa. Then if the travel ban continues, it's not repealed, which it may be repealed if President Biden comes in, then you would just need to go and spend a lot more money on hotels and flights and life to stay in another country for 2 weeks before flying into the United States. So that was part one of the decision. Part two of it was a denial of the preliminary injunction request for the State Department to hurry up, because what's happening is there's people that were not affected by these travel bans. There might be someone in India, for example, or someone in Norway. And the embassies are either doing the interviews or not doing the interviews, or delaying and issuing the visa, not issuing visas. And they're showing the numbers are really low of visa issuance. And the judge said, well, I can't make a decision right now if it's appropriate to push the embassies and force them to make a decision. That may not be within our rights to do that as a court, because the embassy can make these decisions. So I'm not going to issue an injunction forcing them to issue these visas. So there's two or three aspects of that. One is there's going to be more hearings in December and on to see if that could be fixed. There is a possibility that the State Department will start just issuing these visas, start getting the ball rolling and getting people the visas instead of having them wait longer. But it's possible that they stall longer and they're not issued. So the problem is, even if you're hit by a travel ban, which prevented your K-1 visa from being issued, now that it can be issued, the visa that is, you still might not get it because the State Department may take a long time. And what the plaintiffs here, the families are saying is unreasonable delay. Those unreasonable delays, according to them, could prevent them from getting anything in the meantime. So there's still the same hardship that exists. So there are parts of the decision that are really interesting, and they're good because it gets the ball rolling to at least hopefully have the embassies issue visas for fiancés affected by the COVID-19 travel bans. But the embassies are understaffed and they can't take on too many cases, it seems. And so they'll still be slow to practically get the visa. So it's a win and a draw at best in the situation. But we'll see. There's going to be following court cases to this. We're going to see what happens. And I'll keep you posted here. Just visit the JQK Law Firm YouTube page. And you'll get the latest information that can pop out, as well as checking out the LinkedIn page for JK Law, the TikTok page, Immigration Lawyer John, and the rest. I want to thank you so much for viewing this. Please email me if you want to schedule a consultation to discuss further. My email is info@jqklaw.com. I'm in Los Angeles, California, but I can help people from across the world. Until next one, be safe, and I hope to have good news when I come back. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please click subscribe down here and ring that bell to get the latest updates. Also, please follow us at the links above on these various social media sites to catch the latest information, live videos, and more to help you be updated on U.S. immigration.